We want to restart art in our lives, and yet find ourselves standing on the fence, pulled in many directions. Lack of time, self-doubt, questioning our own talent, our age, our circumstances, whatnot. These are real. These are very real things that pull us in all sorts of directions. But here is something which is even more strange. Even when you finally manage some free time, even when you buy that sketchbook you always wanted, even when you finally make time to sit down and make your favorite art, something inside tightens. What is that tightening? Why does it show up even when you finally make time? If you are feeling it too, stay with me. I'm going to name what is really happening here. I also have a short free guide for you. It is called The Invisible Threads That Keep Returning Artists Stuck. It will help you to spot what is tugging you back and take your first honest steps off the fence. I'll tell you more about it in a bit. For now, let's dive in. Hi, I am Parul, founder of RestartART. I have a master's in fine art from Chelsea College of Art, London, and over a decade of creative industry experience. I help you to rekindle creativity and step into the artist you know you are. Not by copying pretty pictures, but by awakening your innate creative intelligence which you already possess. So, whether you're a beginner or someone returning to art after a long gap, this video is for you. The part of you that wants to create art is not new. It quietly traveled with you through careers, personal responsibilities, life changes, stress, expectations, important things you know. And somewhere in that long list of priorities, you quietly fell off your own list. So, let me ask you one thing. Will you give your inner artist a fair chance now? Most of us grew up absorbing a few beliefs about art. Some were fed to us, and some got indirectly absorbed through school, family, culture, social media, without anyone ever announcing them. And they don't feel like beliefs, because when we are inside them, it just feels like that's what life is. These beliefs sit in the psyche like invisible threads. So, despite your deep love for art, these threads keep you hovering at the edge. Half in, half out, always about to begin, always about to step away. And even after starting to learn art, those same threads can still quietly steer your hand. They can make you play safe, make you seek approval, make you hold back the very part of you that wants to express freely. It's not that you don't care. It's usually something pulling us back from realizing our full potential. That something usually hides in few familiar places. Let's name them now. These invisible threads I hear from returning artists again and again. So I have put them together in a short practical guide which you can download for free. The idea is that you don't keep on hearing and thinking about these issues, but actually work your way out of them. The first thread people who want to start drawing often get tangled up with is, I need to feel confident before I begin. That inner voice says, I'll start properly when I feel ready, when I'm sure I won't waste time. I don't want to mess things up, you know. But think about how life actually works. Confidence never arrives in the beginning. It arrives because we began. It comes by showing up a few times, by making some wonky artworks here and there, seeing that we have improved a bit, and then we realize, oh, we can actually do this. But in the beginning, the page often greets you with silence and questions, and that can feel unsettling. That silence is not proof that you can't do it. It is simply the start, the threshold. You don't need to see the whole path before you begin. All you need is one honest step, and then another. Confidence is not the entry ticket. Movement is. And once you start moving like this, another invisible thread often starts tugging at you. This one is the second most common invisible thread that trips you if you are returning to art. Art must earn its place in my life. This one sounds very adult, very responsible. We say things like, art is lovely, but only after work. Of course, art is important, but only after real responsibilities. Only after retirement. Only if everything else is handled. We say things like these as if art has to justify why it deserves a seat at your table. The role of art is not mere decoration. It's not like saying, yay, I could draw this, and that's it. Treating art like that is like letting a diamond slip away thinking it's plain glass. Art does something far deeper than just making things look pretty. It resurfaces our innate confidence, your zest for life. It strengthens your creative problem solving and even your emotional strength. It nourishes the part of you that slowly got ignored while being sensible, responsible, practical, busy. You know the drill. That is why we miss art. Art is not an extra in our life. It is integral to being human. That is why when we keep postponing it, thinking we'll do it when life will allow us, we are not just delaying an activity, we are postponing our aliveness. All the while moving through life in the search of meaning. The next invisible thread is very trickster-like. It shows up right when you take time, sit down sincerely, and it very convincingly twists you around its little finger. I am talking about the trap of perfection. This one is subtle. It never says don't do art. It says do it, but make sure it is flawless. So your art becomes mind-heavy, tight, predictable, careful. And in the pursuit of making your art picture perfect, you start shrinking the very thing that makes art alive. Perfectionism is not confidence. It is rather fear in disguise because it cannot hold space for spontaneity. It cannot hold the forward unfolding of creativity. And that's why the strongest artists never try to control every single thing. They learn skills, yes, but they also learn something very important. They learn to surrender to the intelligence of their innate creativity, to follow their instincts with curiosity, to let the work breathe and grow deeper meanings. That's why only copying photos or artworks never build real artistic confidence, because it bypasses the very thing which makes your artwork unique and original, which is your presence, your emotions, your lived experiences, your alive internal pulse. So, what do? We pick up the pencil, not to perform, not to prove anything to anybody, but to step off that fence, to meet the page as it is, with intentional lines, with open-ended curiosity, with a daring heart to look into the unknown and still stand our grounds, to reclaim our creative power, to reclaim what has always been yours. If this is resonating with you, don't let it sit on just the feeling level. I've created a short practical guide called The Invisible Threads That Keep Returning Artists Stuck. It'll help you to spot the problem areas and give you practical ways to come out of it. I'll leave the link to the free guide in the description box below. So, you don't need permission from the world, society, family, or teachers. Your inner artist has been waiting for your permission. Permission to begin even without confidence. Permission to be unsure and still make art. Permission to not exactly know where it is going and be okay with it. Because confidence is not the entry ticket. Movement is. So, will you give your inner artist a fair chance? Download that free guide. It'll really help you to spot the problem areas that keep pulling you back and help you to work your way out of them. Until we meet next, Lovingly step into the artist you know you are. Restart art. It's good for you.